right, everybody, we are back with another episode of the Ramp Careers Daily Update. We've got a full crew today. We've got both Mitch and Manoj, the co-founders of Ramp Careers. And as always, I'm Danny, the other co-founder of Ramp Careers. So guys, what's going on today? How are you?
Doing well, Danny. Bright and early. We've switched this up. I know we usually catch up at the end of the day, so nice to connect with you guys during the day.
Just had the morning coffee over here, so I'm ready to rock.
I like the black and white theme today too.
Yeah, we're really going for it. I want to jump into a topic that we're all pretty passionate about, less about sales and more about our personal life. I want to talk about healthy habits for this new virtual world that we're all living in. Before we jump into that, there's a cool news story out of Connecticut. It looks like Connecticut has added 26,000 jobs in July as restaurants, hotels, bars potentially open up again. As another positive sign about a economy that is hopefully restarting or showing signs. What do you make of the report out of Connecticut?
Well, it looks like things are starting to look brighter. I'll still never move to Connecticut, but with that said, I think it's good for the folks that are there.
Definitely good. It could quickly revert backwards though, right? Like we've seen it happen before. North Carolina, where I've been quarantining for a while, things opened back up. Huge slew of restaurants and bars immediately got shut back down simply because there would be little outbreaks here and there. You've seen it with universities right now where they opened up, 100 kids will get corona and then it'll shut back down. So yeah, it's good, but as long as they're doing it safely.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic, very cautiously optimistic. We've had rollbacks of quarantine restrictions in California. So I've seen the opening and then the reshutting. So hopefully they can just stay open in Connecticut. Actually, I haven't been to Connecticut. I have no idea what it's like there, but good sign for that portion of the U.S.
Yeah, it's quite nice. All joking aside, I think it's definitely a promising sign to have some kind of revitalization of the economy. Quite a number of people that work in New York, live in Connecticut and vice versa. There's a lot of back and forth going on. So I'm hoping that that's a good sign for the Northeast in general, but, definitely wait and see. We don't want to compromise public health at the expense of economy. And that's one position to take. That's the perspective that I have. So cautiously optimistic is the best word to describe it.
So on to something that we're all facing almost every day. Let's talk about the healthy habits that we've instilled in our work days, but also some healthy habits that have been working for our peers, folks that we're friends with in this new remote world. So I'll kick it to you, Mitch. What are some of the healthy habits that you've started doing in this remote working environment that have kept you sane in quarantine?
Yeah, good question. I'll start with, it took me a while to get in a good habit, good routine for my remote world. I had my previous routine dialed in, wake up early, hit the gym, go to the office, spend some time outside every day. It was great. So it took me a while to adjust. I think one of the biggest things you can do is find a routine. So find a couple of key things that you need to do every day that keep you in good spirits and then stick with it. If you can make the Monday through Friday work week feel like an actual work week where you're getting into that routine versus every day just feels like a Saturday or Sunday, I think it's made my life a lot more balanced. Specifically, one of the things I try to do every day is get outside. Early on in quarantine, especially when I was living in San Francisco, I would just sit in my one-bedroom apartment for days on end. I'd go 72 hours without even seeing the sunlight. It was extremely, extremely unhealthy. So get outside, even if it's staying on your roof, even if it's just taking a walk around the block, do that every day. That has made a world of difference for me. It's kind of one concrete thing. What do you guys think? Manoj, I know you're in Brooklyn living. You got a bigger place than I do, but what do you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, I'll keep it a little more real. I know, Mitch, you're a former college athlete. You've always taken health and wellness seriously. I, like most people, gained about I'd say close to 14 pounds right after everything got shut down. I had such a good routine pre-corona. I was going to the gym. I was eating quite a bit but because I was working out anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, pretty much 6 days of the week. That stopped. And I stopped working out completely, but continued eating. And the eating behavior progressively went from starting to do a lot of ordering food from Uber Eats or whatever it is, and just simply not healthy. And my clothes didn't fit, but I didn't realize it because I was wearing PJs. And it took me about 2 months before I realized, crap, this is not good. I've gotten bigger. I feel sluggish. I don't feel healthy. And so I just decided to take some affirmative steps towards bettering myself, got on a fairly strict diet, got a bike, and I bike a lot. I do a lot of outdoor biking. That's been very good for me for two reasons. One is I'm listening to audiobooks while I'm biking, and I've done 2 to 3.5 hour bike rides, and they go by pretty quickly because I'm getting some knowledge, some content. I'm out in the air. I'm biking a little bit, so I feel like, I'm getting active. So, I think my definite suggestion is it's so easy to get sluggish. It's so easy to kind of lose your form. So finding ways to, where possible, eat healthy and get some fresh air and be active is super important. Space as well. I have my own little corner where I have a desk, I have a couple of screens, I have a printer, I have a light, I have an office chair. To me, it's workspace. When I'm not doing work, I don't sit there. I go sit on the couch. In the beginning, I was working off the dining table, working off the couch. Didn't really feel good, man. I didn't feel like it was productive. For some reason, psychologically, it's just helpful to have a bit of an office setting. So if it's possible, and it's hard, if I know that there's families that live in cities that have kids, space is definitely valuable. It's difficult to carve out a corner for yourself, but if you're able to do it, I think that it's worthwhile investment. But tough times, this is really hard. It's hard enough to have good physical and mental health when things are going great. It's 2x harder to do it when things are not going great. Danny, I know you're in a slightly different position. You had a baby recently. You're in transition, trying to move between two different places. How have you been coping?
Yeah, it's definitely been tough. I think the start of quarantine, I kind of thought, well, this could be temporary. I'll just work from wherever in my apartment. Ended up working somewhere in a common area kitchen table. And that just made me crazy because a lot of times we do, at that point, it was a 6-month-old. Now he's 10 months. Quarantine happens fast. But just be all over. It'd be noisy. A lot of commotion. It's just really, really hard to focus. So I set up a workstation in my room. We don't have much room in our current apartment. And that was a game changer for me, just having that area where I could do my work and be away. The other thing is at the beginning of quarantine, like you, Manoj, I wasn't taking the health thing as seriously. I polished off a fair amount of scotch and whiskey in the first few months, almost every day, and quickly realized that that was not sustainable. I'm certainly not in college anymore, and I can't drink like that. So I cut that out probably month 2.
Yeah.
And that's been super helpful. The biggest thing, though, for me in quarantine, I'm a big gym nut, so can't go to the gym. We bought a Peloton. We jumped on like the rest of the US, it seems like, and that's been a game changer for both me and my wife. It's easy. It's a great workout. We don't have to travel to the gym, so that time's cut out, and it keeps us sane. Echoing Mitch a bit, but getting out of the house is just super important. At least half an hour just away from the house, away from the setting that we're in is great. We've been doing one other thing fairly regularly, which is taking a trip nearby and getting an Airbnb just for a week or so. We did it at the beginning at Scottsdale. We went up to Napa, and now actually I'm phoning in from Tahoe. So getting away for a bit has been a good change of pace. It breaks up the monotony of just staring at my bedroom wall while working.
Yeah, interesting times, challenging times, and I think that it's important to reach out, ask for help. I think people empathize with you a lot more today than maybe they have done so in the past. I've also come to realize that, there's a lot of things that I could do that don't really cost money. I spend less, honestly, since Feb. Fortunate to, not have to worry too much about finances. I think it adds an extra layer of stress, but with that said, I think that I've come to learn that there's ways that you can manage life, and there's ways that you could derive happiness without having to spend a lot of money. I was thinking about this the other day, just in terms of how do you have healthy habits? And to me, health is not just physical, it's mental as well. I remember distinctly back in 2006, 2007, going to Starbucks and getting coffee, that was a luxury back then. It really was. It wasn't something that I do all day, and I actually enjoyed the experience. But somewhere along, I kind of lost my ways, for the lack of a better word, in that I just get it. It was just like, yeah, you're getting coffee. So that joy that I used to have was gone. I think that as people progress in their careers, you'll start to realize that things that gave you a lot of joy in the past stop giving you joy. And I think it's a function of just getting used to stuff, taking things for granted, having access to a lot of things. So in many ways, not having access to it has let me reset expectations as to what is it that I truly need in life to be happy. And I've come to realize that a bike ride, cooking at home, playing Call of Duty, I think that's really, 3 things that give me a lot of joy. And I know you guys laugh, but they're like low investment, I've reconnected with friends that I played today that I haven't played with in years, right? I mean, these are just things that I've just let go. So those are positive stuff. I think there's ways to kind of find mental health amidst all of this, crap that's going on.
Cool. I think that's a good place to leave it. A lot of good learnings here, stuff that's just pretty straightforward, right? So have a workspace, limit your time looking at screens, social media, get outside, exercise, cut the excess, like drinking too much and eating too much, and give yourself a break every once in a while and try to establish a routine. All good tips, all good tricks. We ventured off from the sales path today, but this is going to be super important, especially if we're going to be locked up in our houses for the next 6 to 12 months. Awesome chatting with you both today. Per usual, for Mitch, Manoj, and myself, this was another Ramp Careers Daily Update. We'll see you all tomorrow.
See you guys.
Bye.